Hey, welcome back, guys. What I'm doing, it's a week after our gun season here in northern Wisconsin. I usually wait for a week at least before I start scouting again for late bow season. And usually, like many states, they're hungry after all of this, after the rut, what have you. And what I found, what I'm heading for, is an oak stand that I saw back in September. And I always kept it in the back of my mind to see if any deer come back after the season, after the rut. And now that we got snow, it makes it easier on me too to go see what's going on there. And what I like to do is if they are hitting this oak stand, if I can find some deer, then I'm going to set up for a bow hunt. And what I'm happy with is the snow as it gets deeper. Usually I've known through the years that they start trailing up a little tighter. Instinctively, they follow their trails more, security purposes or whatever it may be. Now what I'm back on a snowmobile trail about a mile now, getting towards the oak stand. You could probably see it in the background. So we're getting close. Now I'm wanting to see how the deer are doing, what they have done in the over the gun season, if they're getting back consolidating now a little tighter. So let's go see as we progress here, okay? Now as I'm walking along here, I'm getting close. Now as you can see, already I just came across, there's a nice trail heading up. Look where it's going. Right up towards those oaks, see? Going across. They're heading up on both sides. It's a nice healthy oak stand. And the fortunate thing is that we had acorns this year, which is very nice. So that's going to help us out a lot. So I got a little ways to walk yet to get up into that area. So what we're going to do, we're going to head back up in that area now. And we got to swing around and get up into those oaks, okay? We're going to go take a look because I got a hunch these trails are heading in that direction. So let's go see. Okay, as I came up on the hill, there's your oak stand up in there, okay? All through there. Now, up on top now, notice a little increase in the trails now. Wasn't heading up in there, okay? And I see a little more activity up here. See how they're heading up? Going up in. Okay, that's good to see. Going up in those oaks. So we're going to dive in there. I just want to see how far these trails go. There's two. And here's one quite heavily used. There's three trails, so they're quite busy. Now I'm thinking common sense. They're coming from over in that area. Oh gosh. I haven't just, you can see daylight over there. I believe there was a cutover up in that area that may be bedded in. They're coming down, they're jumping over, going to the oaks, because that's quite open over there, what I saw in September. So, we're going to go a little farther here. It isn't that large, that's what's nice about it. As you can see, we're going to go along. I got one more. I want to cut in at the end of it. You can see where it ends over there. It's coming down, oaks, 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 and it winds down. Oh, geez, probably, you can see it dying out up there. Okay, so we're going to cut in up here. Yeah, see it goes up in those hills there. Now, what I like is the temperature now. It was 0 last night, which isn't bad. That doesn't affect the deer that much. I'll be honest with you. What happens? I get a lot of times when it's 20 below, 15, 20, 25 below, the deer becomes so temperamental. Maybe at noon they'll come out for a couple hours. They don't want to burn too many calories. But when it's like this, 0 to 15, it's about 16, 17 degrees right now. That's okay. That doesn't bother the deer. They're running fine. They're not burning calories. They could do their thing. This is when it's nice like this. That's where we're hitting it right now. Let's go in and see. Now, what do we got here? This is the last trail. All right. See what's going in? Now, I'm hoping. See, now what I saw in September, there was some scrapes along here, down along the bottom. So the bucks were coming from this end, it seemed like. And I wouldn't doubt it. It's hard to tell from the tracks itself. But we're going to get up there and see where they're feeding. Now see, yeah, it's covering a pretty good track set down here. Maybe one of the bucks, I don't know that. But we're going to go up and do some experimenting, so hang on. Now I was walking along, heading up towards those oaks. I looked to the left, where they cut over at one time, and I'm noticing more and more, look at the trail, look at the deer tracks heading in up in that corner of that cutover. They're going for the grasses yet before the acorns. They're still able to get at it with only about 8 inches of snow. I mean, look at the activity here. See what I'm saying? What you find when you go out there? See where they're heading? More and more trails, more activity. Sure enough, look at this. Well, you got to go where the deer go. Look at, they're heading up. They're feeding on grasses up there before they go up into the oaks. And this is being used daily. This is nice. This is what I want to see right here. This is deer. They're going back and forth. See how they're heading back in the other direction? They're coming and going. Now another opportunity here is to backtrack once again, back towards our bedding farther. And I bet you it's in that other cutover. But look where they're heading. Sure, they're browsing up here because naturally their diet changes into more of a woody browse. Look at this, how tight it is. Who would have guessed? Sure enough. Okay, let's go explore a little more. That's where I was down there. See, they're joining up in this area. There's a rub right there. I like this back trail. It goes along the edge. There's all the oaks. Those other 3 trails are coming through up in those oaks. But he's riding the edge here. And I like the size of this track, really. It's pretty good size, to be honest with you. A couple good ones in here. I like that. This could be one of them that are coming from that area and heading up. But see how they ride the edge? But he's doing it daily. Really fresh track, because it just snowed last night a little bit more. Just doing this daily. Not bad, but we'll work 10 to 1. I know where he's going. He's going for some of those acorns over there. But he's riding the edge. See, now you can see already. Look at how they're working it over there. See some leaves. Now those 3 trails that we had were up in that area. We walk from that area up and come this way. But this guy's on the edge. This could be his same pattern from all fall. You never know. But this is what you find. Then after this, we'll try to set up at this point. Let's first see what he's going to. I'm just curious. You want to make sure what you're doing when you get this far back. And what is the reason that he's doing this? But boy, that's a steady trail for him. And there isn't many other deer that I notice on this trail other than that one size track for some reason. There it is. There's your answer. See it down there? Bingo. Now see, he splits off here. He's feeding on the browse. There's a lot of raspberries, blackberries out there. But look at this. Because I know we had acorns this year. And I saw this in September. I thought, geez, this might be good. Sure enough. And as time goes on, he's going to get hungrier. He's going to hit this. Oh, that's fresh. That is fresh. Beautiful. Look at even the grasses they're digging for. How much more fresh do you want? There you go. And it may be only a couple spots that they're hitting like this. Look at that. Look at over here. It was worth the walk, guys. See what I'm saying? Look at that. Okay, but see, there's your top of your oaks up there. That's where all those does came from. But I'm almost willing to bet this is a buck working on the edge. That's their characteristics. They're staying off to the side. Feeding on it, feeding on it. Look at that. Let's just check this a little bit. See what they're feeding on. They're looking for grasses yet, much as they can get. Look at the trails. So look at the tracks down through here. Who would have guessed? So, look at this. Already pounding it. Oh, look at that. That one oak. Look what he supplied. Oh, guys, we hit the jackpot here. Look at the freaking jackpot. Okay, here's the setup plan. Okay, we got northwest up in that area. Predominant winds coming this way. That's all I can go on. Because look at up here. Way too open. Way too open. But do you want to go all the way to the end here? See, here's the choice you got to make. Do you want a chance that they're coming here before dark? You know, you could set up a camera and check it in a week and see what happens. Or do you want to back all the way up where he's coming from and try to catch him early enough in the bedding? That's what we're going to look at. So we got an option here. So I think what we'll do, we're going to set up here. I'll get one set up. And then we're going to back up all the way across that trail and see roughly where they are coming from itself. Maybe that'll speed things up. But this time of year, they're not afraid of coming out before dark. You know, they're going to come out that last half an hour as they get hungrier. So we got something cooking here, guys. I like what I see. So let's take a look and see what we can come up with. Okay. We were just up in that area where they were feeding. I came back down. Lower yet. Feeding. Their trail is getting tighter here. So they're heading up in this direction. Now, believe this or not, guys, this is where I had a licking branch in September. I haven't been back down in here since. It's always nice to see, huh? Licking branch, look it. You want to see something what happens? You don't believe it? Are you looking at this trail? You'd swear it's food. And all it is right here. My licking branch from way back when. Now, you know why? You see that color? That's a doe in heat, faint blood. It's usually pinkish. Usually, she's here. She's checking this out. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to, because she's still in heat. Coming back for maybe the second time, what have you. But look how they're hanging through here. This is tight. This is where he's finally ending up at. See, and they're spending time. Crap right here by it. Oh, are they spending time here? Look at how they're digging. Okay. Now you see what we found? Look at the tracks. Look at this. They're spending a lot of time right in this area. It almost looks like a bed down there. They're waiting, and they're coming to that licking branch yet. Unbelievable. That's why, I'll tell you the truth, guys. I set these out all the time. If I wouldn't have found my old licking branch here, I would have set one out. I set them out 12 months out of the year, and they will hit it because it's the same thing I always say. They just check who was there in the area. They drop their preorbital scent, their forehead gland scent, and away they go, just like a dog peeing on a bush every day. It's nice. So he's coming from quite a ways, what we gathered, or whoever was coming from that trail. But I'm banking they're coming from different directions here, and I like the setup. I really do. I got cover in here. Let's see what I can come up with for a cover for a blind down in this area somewhere, off to the edge. Okay. I whipped this up in a hurry. Nice little blind. I had some old pieces here back in September too. And I came back to it because of the fact I got enough cover. I sit in my little chair, my seat that goes around the tree. I sit this low. Okay. Now right down there, right through there, it's only 20 yards. Right there, that trail comes right down through there and goes. And right where we're over there is a licking branch, right in that area. I'm going to leave that alone. I don't want to be too close to them. Let them do their thing. And we'll see. If this doesn't work, then I know I got to back up towards their bedding. But let's see what time they come out here. You know what I'm going to do, just for kicks and giggles. I won't be here for a couple of days yet, till next week probably. I'm gonna just set a camera for the fun of it, see if I can get some neat pictures. And I'll check back next week with it, and we'll do some serious hunting. If everything looks good, I'll come from the back way, not where we came in at. Let them go, come from that area. I don't want to bother them. I can reach around and come back through here. But this is their final destination, the way it looks, right here. They're feeding down here. Let's go on it and see, okay? Hey, you know what? I hope you enjoyed just coming along like this. This is how you find some of these spots, out of the blue. But the cool part is, see, they did come back for their oaks now, for their acorns. But what's ironic is check out that licking branch where you found that blood in the snow right there, that faint blood from a doe in heat. That's what happened. But you got to remember, it's only the first week of December. After 28 days of come in heat, she probably is. So those bucks are going to be checking that too. So, all right, take care. I'll see you on the next one, all right?